Hello viewers, welcome to the weekend edition of National Focus. I'm your presenter Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, Global Entrepreneurship Week ends with incredible youth participation. 78 graduate from parenting program in Grand Bay, and Miss Dominica call on the public to end the silence on child abuse. Stay with me as I bring you the details of these and other stories coming up right after the break.
If you can believe this,
come by my house and let me show you some movies.
why can't you believe this? Some mothers don't believe their own children when they say they've been sexually abused, and they don't report it. Remember, if anyone asks to see or touch their private parts, touches them inappropriately, shows them or forces them to touch one's private parts, has sex with them, shows them pornographic material, or deliberately lets them hear or see the act of sex, then it is sexual abuse. Believe your child and report the sexual abuse. For more information about child abuse, contact these agencies. This message brought to you by UNICEF and this station.
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. For those of you who frequent the Mero Beach, you may notice an increased sense of security there, and that's because the Mero Beach community will now have regular police patrols. Honorable Kelva Daru, parliamentary representative for that community, told GIS News that recently tourists and locals alike were being harassed. This concern was recently discussed at a community meeting. The parliamentary representative stated that the Mero tourism product is one that he will continue to advocate for as its existence continues to benefit the entire community.
Last Monday, I called a meeting with the Mero Enhancement Committee along with other stakeholders in the tourism sector to ensure that we can look at the challenges that have been faced in this community, seeing that we have just started the new tourism season. Coming out of that meeting, some of the challenges that were identified were that some of the tourists were being harassed on the beach, particularly by some persons who were not certified vendors. We invited the police as well as the Minister of Tourism to that meeting. And I must say it was a very fruitful and productive meeting because several initiatives came out of that meeting. One, there will be a greater police presence and patrol on tourist days to ensure that anybody who is harassing the tourists, they can be one, or if the case may be, the full force of the law being implemented. Additionally, these other stakeholders, they are willing to work together more collaboratively with the Mero Enhancement Committee to ensure that we have greater management of the tourism product here in this community.
The Mero MP says the tourism dollar is extremely important to the advancement of Mero.
As a power rep, I believe that the tourist dollar is significant to this community, and I will do all in my power to ensure that it remains here in the community of Mero.
In more news, the Youth Development Division and Dominica Youth Business Trust may well have to think bigger as it relates to the venue of its annual entrepreneurship exposition, since the event keeps growing. The expo, which has been held for the past 5 consecutive years, was staged on Thursday downstairs the government headquarters.
Usually at those events, because of the size of the venue, that we usually limit it to about 40 of our top entrepreneurs to come and showcase their stuff. And also because we also want to make space for the patrons, you know, to navigate, you know, between the tables and so on.
One product which the youth official considers revolutionary is an instant tea venture by Jamaica Grow. Jamal Prince and his brother own Dr. Herb products emerging from that business.
I have instant ginger drink, instant traditional cocoa, and shredded ginger. The instant ginger is the main product really, because that's what we started off with, and a lot of people have been having great testimonies of, you know, certain illnesses they had, like gastric problems, and some illnesses they didn't even know what it was, and when they did take the product and they used it, it really did something inside of them, and it just cured up whatever illness it was they had, you know.
The business was established in 2010 with help from the Dominica Youth Business Trust and has been steadily expanding ever since. Patrons can find Dr. Herb products at Whitchurch IGA and ACS Shillingford supermarkets, as well as Bullseye Pharmacy. Arrangements are also being made with Jolly's Pharmacy, he says. A number of youths are tapping into the plant and herb resources of the island. Ivira Etienne is one of those.
I have 3 sets of products. We have the craft products, which is made of banana leaves, crochet, we have guava leaves, we have pear peeling, peanut peeling, we have avocado peeling as well, bamboo leaves, guava leaves, corn wrapping, we have the wild peas, we have the botanical flowers, trees, and we have the wild leaves here. We have also natural hairstyles. I'm a natural hairstylist. I did my own hair, so I'm giving you free advertisement now. And we have this set of hairstyles, so if you want to place an appointment, you can also do so. I go to home, I do home visits, or if you want to come to your home to do the hairstyles, I can do that as well. Our ranges are not high, they're from $25 go up, $25. We have for children prices and adult prices. We have the Mosgo cold and flu reliever, very good for all your flus. You really feel better within seconds. Yes, with a combination of 5, you have castor oil, coconut oil, peppermint oil, petroleum jelly, and little things. We also have the herbal facial cleanser for your pimples, blackheads, acne, blemishes, ringworms. You can clean up your face. And you can use 2 cups to 3 cups of water to dilute it for sensitive skin. Customers can reach me via my email or my telephone numbers. My numbers are 225-5630 and 617-6121.
And the list went on and on. Among the myriad of products and services on display, GIS News spoke with 2 food service providers.
Today we are selling popsicles and smoothies. They are all natural. And it came from our students who made it at the school. Firstly, we had students coming and giving the ideas from the group. And then the one that had the most votes, we used it. Well, we just started. So at school, we had different samples, and then people will give their ideas and their views about it. And then in the future, we are going on the roadside on the Saturdays and make people buy it, and we can also buy a share. And then in the share, if we make a profit, you get interest.
One young entrepreneur has a local sweets business.
We have tablets, we have coconut cheese, we have loga, and we have gooseberry. All of them are made by us, and we do both local and foreign customers. So if somebody from foreign wants a sample or wants to purchase products, they can just call us, put in the order, and we'll have it to them within 2 to 3 weeks. Locally, same thing. If somebody locally wants an order, then they just call us, we have it to them within the week, depending on the scale of the order. Business has been booming. As you can see, nearly everything is gone. So business has been bright. People are reviewing the products well. They are saying that it's very good. So I'm guessing that I'm seeing good things to come.
Bell MMP, with a staff of 3, also advertised its digital imaging services.
Bell MMP is basically doing graphic designs. We do web development, photography, videography. We also do business cards, posters. So that's what we really incorporate in our business. We do basically Skype meetings, email, over the phone, and we can come to you as well in your offices. So we can come down to you and actually work out a package with you based on what website you want. So that's the way we do it with you. Also, if you want photography for events and so on, you can call us in advance, and then we come to the event, we charge you, and we have instant photos where we print the photos for you right away.
Sewing and crochet skills were not to be left out on Thursday.
Today I am displaying a few shoes, handmade shoes, hats, a few little puppies, and these are wash rag teddies made from wash rags. And I'm also displaying, these are the pockets of a pant. Very crafty, you could use it in your bedroom as a bedroom slippers. And also shoes for the little ones. So these are some of the items that I'm displaying here today.
Chief Youth Development Officer John Roach had this to say in summary.
We are satisfied in terms of not just the number of the turnout, but in terms of the quality of the products. And this is what we're looking to see, and that is what I can say that I've seen an improvement in the presentation of the products of the young people, and we are very happy for that, because our market is not just the local market. We are looking at regional and international market. Quite a number of the entrepreneurs there have gotten regional, and we have a few of them with international markets. So this is the way we want to go, and this is what we want to see happening every year.
Also this week, over 100 budding leaders, mentors and entrepreneurs emerged products of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and their own determination when they graduated from development programs. The graduation ceremony themed Youth Mean Business certified and graduated youths from the 8th Entrepreneurial Program, Multidisciplinary Leadership Training, Mentorship Training, and the 12th, 13th and 14th Small Business Assistance Facility. Honorable Ambrose George, representing Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, saw the event as a demonstration of youth inclusion in nation building.
The mission to take Dominica to the next level requires the participation of all. Critical for this is of the energy of the youth and their innovation in driving the emerging sectors such as information and communication technologies. I must commend the Youth Development Division and the Dominica Youth Business Trust on the numerous opportunities that have been afforded to Dominican youth in various sectors. Global Entrepreneurship Week has become the universal stage of the entrepreneurial community for shaping the next generation of entrepreneurs and turning creativity, ingenuity, and tireless efforts into products, processes, and the technologies that change the world.
According to Leadership Course Coordinator Valencia Webb, performance was absolutely necessary for certification.
2 multidisciplinary leadership courses were held for group leaders and other community people of Roseau and environs and Northeast communities, respectively. The Roseau and Environs program commenced on January 17, 2013 at the Roseau Youth Center on a weekly basis for Stage 1 and 2, and fortnightly for Stage 3 with 25 young people, and ended in June 2013. Throughout each session in Stage 1 and 2, over 20 people attended regularly, and today only 12 participants work hard enough to attain the Certificate of Success. 7 tutors were recruited, however, only 4 tutored and will be rewarded with certificates for their hard work.
Here's one newly certified leader.
The multidisciplinary leadership course has been an eye-opener. As current group leaders and the future leaders, the program has given us a boost on becoming not only better leaders, but better parents, siblings, friends, employees or employers, better person. Can you believe that before this program, I, a 23-year-old, did not know that the third most strongest person on any island after the president and the vice president is the state judge? No, I did not. We learned about being effective leaders, recognizing effective leaders. We developed our writing and speaking skills through proposal writing and speech writing and reading, just to name a few.
The Dominica Youth Business Trust, which has been in operation for the past 9 years, played a major role in churning out newly certified and trained entrepreneurs through the Small Business Assistance Facility.
30 young people aged 18 to 35 commenced and participated in the 4-week program from July 10th to August 2nd, 2013. 16 young men and 14 young women. Today, 27 of them, 14 male and 13 female, will be certified. The program comprised of 56 sessions, which were conducted by a team of competent facilitators who exhibited great commitment and preparation. Meanwhile, Attendance, participation, and interest among the participants were commendable. Much emphasis was placed on the business plan development component of the program. The business plan team worked for 4 consecutive days with the participants on their business plans, during which the participants received individual guidance. They were granted an additional month with technical support to complete and submit their business plans to the committee and to the Business Plan Innovation Awards Committee for assessment.
Aid Bank has partnered with the DYBT to produce prizes to 6 promising businessmen and women. 5 will receive $1,000 each and 1 $5,000 towards the startup or expansion of their businesses. Emmanuel Andrew feels like she has come out on the other side of her dream to own her own business.
I remember sitting with a friend and explaining to him my interests in business and how my lack of collateral to access funds, me being unable to write a business plan, and how my slight doubts hindered my progress in getting a kickstart. He said to me in 3 sentences, "Girl, there is only one solution to your problem. Go down to the youth division and tell them you want to register for the entrepreneurship program. Girl, you don't know you will get $20,000? Well, my head started swelling. And I was at the office the following day. I got registered, prayed about it every day, and even called a few times because I wanted to get on board. And by the way, I also learned that it wasn't just getting $20,000 just like that. On behalf of myself and the other participants, I can safely say that my experience with the DYBT has unburied a new me that was hidden inside, but actually unknown to me. My business mind has sharpened significantly. It's only after this training I've realized that I was entering a hostile business world totally unprepared. DYBT, you have saved me from learning the extremely hard way.
All of this, says Chief Youth Development Officer John Roach, stems from the principal reasoning that this is a good time to focus and invest in youth.
No better time than now, because the contemporary challenges our youth are increasingly confronted with. No better time than now, because as a small island developing state, it is imperative that we consolidate our resources in order to stay afloat in this globalized and increasingly globalized and competitive environment. No better time than now, because young men are increasingly engaging in the trafficking of illicit drugs. No better time than now, because of the increasing acts of violence and crime, drugs and alcohol abuse. No better time than now, because the state prisons are overcrowded with our young men. No better time than now, because we don't want prostitution to be an enterprise choice for our young women. No better time than now, because we don't want suicide to be a way out for our youth.
Representing the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Permanent Secretary Marcella Powell felt that commendable results have been realized by both the facilitators and the graduates.
I am very proud of the achievements of DYBT over the past 9 years. And given our youth unemployment situation and current global economic climate, we know our task is enormous. But we will all agree that a seed has been planted, and all that is required is nourishment for this seed to germinate and work its way through life. The Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports will continue to create opportunities to empower the young men and women of Dominica and to enable them to contribute more significantly to the social and economic development of the country. Let me reassure the Dominican youth of government's continued commitment to DYBT. On behalf of the Government of Dominica and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, I extend congratulations to the 71 DYBT graduates and the 32 leadership graduates, the mentors who will be certified today.
That ceremony also served to award Natoya Paul and Burton John Baptist determined female and male entrepreneurs of the year, respectively. GIS will bring you more from that in a subsequent newscast. All parents did exceptionally well, was how coordinator of the Child Abuse Prevention Unit, Gemma Luce, described the results of a parenting program which came to a close in the community of Grand Bay on Wednesday. 78 parents who participated in the 10-session program, which commenced on October 7, 2013, received certificates of completion at a ceremony at the Pierre Charles Secondary School. The program coordinator, in delivering a review of the program, expressed satisfaction that these parents have been equipped with necessary skills to be better parents.
The objective of the program was to teach parents how to take control of their parenting responsibility by helping them to acquire relevant information on childcare and development, learn new and proven parenting strategies, form supportive networks with other parents and reduce their sense of isolation, develop problem-solving skills. Some of the topics covered included stages of development, communication in the family, conflict resolution, helping your child succeed in school, child abuse, the signs and effects, and how to protect your child from abuse, roles and responsibilities of parents and children.
The parenting program was organized by the Ministry of Social Services through the Welfare Division as part of its outreach activities in the fight against child abuse in Dominica. Social Services Minister Honorable Gloria Shillingford was happy that the closing ceremony was held on Universal Children's Day last Wednesday. The minister told parents that their responsibility to their children is not optional, but rather a responsibility given to them by God. The minister said parenting should not be taken for granted and cautioned the parents to do everything to protect their children from abuse.
I wish to endorse this viewpoint that the children are the present, and as such, we must love, nurture, and protect them now, today. If we want to have responsible, principled, and sound leaders in the future. Be reminded also that we do not raise children for ourselves. They are not therefore only a means of securing our future or our old age. No. Children have a right to be here and to benefit from all that God has blessed mankind with.
Parliamentary Representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Honorable Justina Charles, commended the parents who took the program seriously. She is encouraged by the participants' zeal to make a change in the way they interact with their children.
You are making a statement that you want to see or make a difference in your life, in the life of your children, in the life of your family. It says, therefore, you want to grow, you want to become a more positive individual. More positive, and that doesn't mean you're not positive. More, okay?
The parliamentary representative urged the parents to use their newly acquired skills to deal with situations of conflict involving their children at school.
I need to see that network extend to the schools. So from today, when you go to the primary school to talk to the teacher we expect the teacher to see a different person, a different attitude, a different way of speaking to the teacher, a different way of questioning the teacher, a different way of rationalizing and understanding what is happening, and a different way of correcting that child. So we will see it in the primary school and let the teacher say, Mojo, what happened to her? That is not the person who would normally come there and, behave in a little aggressive way, or maybe the way they would answer. What has happened? When we go to the secondary schools, let the teachers see it. Let the children see it. That is how you're going to bring satisfaction to all the tutors that you loved so much, that you felt imparted the information so well to you.
Participants of the program used the closing ceremony to share what they learned through song and dramatization. They also gave personal testimonies.
I would like to thank the Welfare Division by having this program. I learned a lot and it helped me by being a better parent. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Patricia Casimir, one of the many who benefited from the parenting program, sounded a call for the judicial system in Dominica to expedite cases dealing with children who have been abused.
Former Calypso monarch Tasha Peltier reminded us, let children be children. Too often we rob them of their childhood through violence of any sort. We need to stop violence against children. Some things need to be done about parents who take money from the offenders. We call that hush money. We ask the government to put laws in place for an earlier calling of the court cases. 6 months is just too long. Consequences of such actions should be more intense. There should be a court specifically for cases of violence against children.
We congratulate the parents on their accomplishments and wish them all the best as they continue on their journey of parenting. In more news, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Helen Royer, has indicated that while Dominica's primary health care framework is a model for other countries, there is room for improvement. Royer was speaking at a national stakeholders consultation on primary health care on Wednesday, where the efficiency of the system was assessed.
In Dominica, I must say that it is evident that we need a paradigm shift to strengthen new areas of focus. Example, elderly and men's health, in keeping with that epidemiological and demographic transition. The referral system and linkages with secondary care has to be improved. Example, provision of a high-risk clinic, antenatal clinic at the district level, cancer clinics at the primary healthcare settings with internist referrals and community-based follow-up, which is seemingly weak in our system. Effective linkages with the private sector, who provide first-line services also, is critical, as the primary healthcare concept must be understood at all levels. We have to improve on our follow-up home visits and to go back to the old days of conducting mothercraft clinics, food demonstrations, and the home at the home and the district team becoming a part of the community resource pool.
She says while the task seems daunting, the Ministry of Health is committed to the undertaking. This shift, to which Royer referred, complements the agenda of the World Health Organization and PAHO.
Recently, a process of primary health care renewal was initiated by PAHO WHO with the aim to strengthen the country's capacity to implement a coordinated, effective, and sustainable strategy to tackle existing health problems. Also to meet new health challenges and improve health equity. This new concept has been deemed the primary healthcare renewal strategy. Multiple reasons justify the primary healthcare renewal strategy. Since 1978, the region's general context has changed remarkably, not only as a result of the changes within the countries themselves, but also due to the changes on a global scale, which impact both the individual and society in general. There have been significant epidemiologic, demographic, socio-cultural, political, and technological, as well as, of course, environmental changes, which have created new and distinct scenarios, each with their very own associated health risks. And that, in addition to the already existing and yet unresolved threats, requires bold new strategies. This complex and continuously evolving situation reaffirms the importance given to primary health care back in 1978, and most certainly the need to effectively adjust our approach to the new collection of threats which characterize our times.
According to Royer, efficient primary health care is a very basic need of any country, including Dominica.
Primary health care forms an integral part both of the country's health system, of which it is a central function and main focus, and the overall social and economic development of the community. It is the first level of contact of individuals, the family, and the community with the national health system, bringing healthcare as close as possible to the people where they live and work.
In other news, as Dominica observed Universal Children's Day on Wednesday, November 20, reigning Miss Dominica Leslassa Armour Shillingford called on members of society to break the silence about child abuse in Dominica. Miss Armour Shillingford's call came when she addressed the closing ceremony of a parenting program in the community of Grand Bay on Wednesday.
We must today, right now, take a stand to break the silence. We must today speak about child abuse. Let Dominica know that you understand what child abuse is. We must today refuse to accept it. It is not part of our culture, and we must today accept that it is a crime, plain and simple. Do not allow another child to be abused in your presence.
Miss Armour Shillingford, in speaking on the epidemic of child abuse in Dominica, said the consequences of sexual child abuse are endless and Dominican children should be shielded from becoming victims of such abuse.
Symptoms that victims face after sexual abuse includes flashbacks, rape trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, pregnancy, sexually transmitted infections, suicide, depression. Just depression is quite broad and includes prolonged sadness or unexplained crying spells, significant change in weight or appetite, loss of interest in pleasure in activities previously enjoyed, unexplained aches and pains, irritability, worry, anger, agitation or anxiety, thought of death or suicide. That's just one of the symptoms that I've explained, and there are many more to go along with them.
Miss Armour Shillingford notes that the effects of sexual abuse are often carried into adult life.
Child sexual abuse does not just affect the victim right after, it continues to affect them in their adult life. Adults will set limits and boundaries, will have flashbacks, anger, grieving, guilt, shame, blame. Will have trust issues, lack of coping skills, which can cause drinking or drug abuse, promiscuous activity. Will lack self-esteem and be prone to isolation. Will have body memories which cause maladies such as psychosomatic symptoms. These include headaches, lightheadedness, stomach difficulties, grinding of teeth, sleep disorders. All these symptoms are caused only by sexual abuse, child sexual abuse. And of course there are many more. Each victim is very different from the other.
Miss Armour Shillingford warns that the resultant negative effects of sexual abuse not only affects the individual, but transcends to other facets of society.
If a large percentage of our population suffers from these symptoms, could we be a productive developing nation that would be able to create new jobs and provide better health care or pension systems? I would think no. On a more personal note, where would we find our parenting partners? Who do we have relationships with or families with? Of course, any victim of abuse has the potential to let go of their past and move on with their present, but it takes a lot of work to try and undo the pain that is inside you. Why allow this to happen to any member of our society? We must today, right now, take a stand to break the silence.
Miss Dominica, in her closing remarks, urged abused children to be strong and seek support systems to assist them in dealing with their abuse. And finally, this news time, His Excellency Dr. Damian Dublin, Dominica's ambassador to Costa Rica for the past 6 years, represented government in Houston when the Dominica-Houston Association celebrated Dominica's 35th anniversary on November 2nd. Ambassador Dublin spoke with GIS News on Thursday when he revealed details of the happenings in Houston. His impression of the milestone event was that it was a memorable experience.
Dominica-Houston Association every year organizes activities for independence. So this year they sent me an invitation to be the featured speaker. The government of Dominica, specifically Labour Party, has always sent somebody every year based on their request. So this year I was fortunate to be selected to represent the government. And I think all in all it was a very wonderful experience in being up there with them and seeing the kind of activities that they're doing, especially in the cultural field, in terms of the traditional dances. So all in all, it was a very good experience.
As the featured speaker tasked with linking Dominicans at home and in Houston, this is what Ambassador Dublin told the association.
My main focus was to just give them an overview of what's happening. In fact, I'm coming from Dominica and living in the island, because as I told them, they have access to all the news and all the other aspects of it. So I just wanted to give them an explanation as to what's happening. I also informed them that they are ambassadors in their own rights because of the role that they are playing in helping to keep the Dominicans together and also keeping the traditional culture alive. I mentioned the geothermal and the potential, and everybody was just amazed that small country like Dominica have, reached so far in terms of geothermal development, in terms of the stage we are at now. So
the event he described as very well attended. It was replete with cultural performances and music.
Tremendous success. Besides the feature address, which was well received, a few people, there was a lot of applause during parts of the speech. Some people actually could see it on their faces that it was well received. I also presented a plaque on behalf of the government to the association, recognizing the achievements over the years. Yes, that was the 17th annual cultural event that they have been having. Also, as part of the activities, there's a Dominican band based in Houston, and they also played at this event. So all in all, it really was a memorable activity. There was also representation from other associations. Some people came from the other associations in New Jersey, Boston. In fact, someone came from Cleopas, Challenger, came from St. Croix, a Dominican. And his show was made in Houston, where the first Jinping band played. And well, I tried something and I played a little job in that one. So all in all, added a little excitement to the whole activities.
We'll bring you more from that interview in a subsequent newscast. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson, St. Luce is up next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Premièrement, directeur général pour l'Agence de développement Morocco, c'est un Dominique Moissala pour voir pour qui a pris place à ce projet hôtel qui a bâti un grand à présent. Ministère Employment, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, c'est un premier officier qui visite le projet là et puis directeur général là.
Qui vient pour faire visite, c'est la première fois, parce que c'est un neuf travail. So il vient pour garder l'hôtel qui est à Portsmouth. Ça c'est Cabrit Hotel and Spa. So ça y vient pour nous parler, nous parler de l'agriculture, nous parler de tourism, nous parler de education, parce que nous les jeunes qui là étudier aussi. Mais ça y vient pour c'est pour où ça nous qu'à faire, et où ça y ni pour faire pour complete project ça. As moun qui ka suivre tout en Dominique là yo descend Portsmouth yo ke where on go building là ka monter parce que pour côté Cabrit là et ben ça c'est l'hôtel mon ka parler côte et ben ça nous ka garder côte c'est ça il besoin pour complete building ça il vient bien il pour côté pour finalement mais nous n'y on des toi bah nous peut faire avec ça nous ka garder côte tout c'est management comme ça nous can manage hotel ça avec you boy interested too you interested comme ça you dit you killer ça fait un partnership avec gouvernement Dominique pour comment nous ça fait bail ça oui comme c'est des management comme c'est avec ça nous fait déjà nous commencer train jeune monde à Dominique nous avons pour écouter yon samoun qui a étudié comme c'est des hospitality, scalte by ça, comment vous travaillez dans l'hôtel, tout ces by ça. Nous commençons déjà avec nous regarder tous ces hôtels North Dominic, comme ça nous sommes mettez jeunes moun qui train pour faire taper travail.
La nouvelle organisation Dominica Houston l'Amérique tient activité culturelle locale pendant que célébré l'anniversaire indépendant Dominique à le 10 novembre. Ambassadeur Dominique pour Costa Rica, Dr. Damien Dublin, tapé assistance au gouvernement, ou là il représentait Dominique en célébration là.
On bon bité mon ouais là c'est un culte yo ka chebe fond dans ça, yo teni autant activité ka danser traditionnel, Highland Tour et puis Jingping, quadrille et yon bité qui était bon c'est les enfants ont 5 ans dans un petit groupe qui a dansé. Ces enfants, c'est des enfants qui fêtent en Amérique. Mais maman et papa au Dominique. Les enfants, ils ont un programme pour mener ces enfants pour connaître la tradition culturelle Dominique. So, moi, je crois fait un bon travail et je crois que tout Dominique pour supporter n'importe manière.
En d'autres nouvelles, même parlement pour Mero, Honorable Kelva Darrow, bien plaisir pour te taper assistance bâtie en maison pour un citoyen communauté salam qui était bien besoin. Honorable Darrow visité l'occasion là, où la maison là bâtie j'ai semaine ça là.
Comme ça là il passe ouais. Et ben moi dis moi pour faire un caille bail. Puis il bouge mes caille là. So ouais vieux caille là qui en l'autre side là. Et ben caille ça là il y a 2 bedrooms, il y a un bathroom, il y a un toilette, il y a un kitchen. Et bien, nous avons fait un bon job là. Puis, nous sommes un gouvernement, c'est un parti qui concerne. Nous cherchons pour le monde. Et puis, les gens sont électés pour travailler. Et bien, moi, je pense que le projet ça c'est un bel projet. Et bien, les gens regardent le projet ça là. Je les plais. Puis, je vois où la monde là resté. Et bien, la place là pas bon. Quand elle a tombé, quand elle a pas bon. Et puis, quand ça là, il a fini. C'est un bon cas pour et puis les enfants pour rester. Je suis content, je dis merci pour bon Dieu, pour ma strength là, force là. Et bien, merci pour mes ministères Scarit, pour l'assistance là qu'il a moi, en constituency Saint-Jo, pour faire bagaille ça là. Et bien, nous allons faire plus de comme ça en Saint-Jo. Nous allons faire un projet pour éradiquer, pour finir puis toilette. En notre constituency là. Et puis, le projet c'est là, il y a bénéfice tout le monde en Saint-Jo.
Et puis finalement, plusieurs jeunes tout mon pays là déjà bénéficié du programme DYBT. Parole celle-là sortie au chef département jeunesse, M. John Roach.
C'est le Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit qui commence le programme là avec Commonwealth Secretariat. Là, il commence le programme là, il peut être Premier ministre, il était ministre pour les affaires jeunes gens. C'est depuis mener une idée, il dit c'est une bonne idée, il faut supporter, il mettre l'argent, il vient Prime Ministre, il met d'autres l'argent dans le programme là. So, hot programme ça, on est plus que 500 jeunes monde Dominique qui a bénéficié de ce programme là, qui a fait business dans tous différents secteurs, en agriculture, en affaires arts and crafts, en affaires tourisme, en affaires ICT. En affaires musique, on est autant de jeunes monde qui a fait savon ou savon qui a fait bien tout ce monde ça c'est un programme ça yo nous des banques qui a travaillé avec nous c'est Credit Union là yon des banques Aid Bank avec NDFD qui a travaillé avec nous pour andi baser jeunes monde l'argent yo besoin pour yo faire business yo nous ka provide training by yo son bon programme nous toujours ka dit c'est yon en a c'est bon bagage la Prime Minister a fait c'est programme ça nous les monde nous les gouvernements avec private sector un des programmes là pour gagner parce que programme là ça venir plus grand programme là qui fait bien ça nous besoin c'est plus ressources pour un de ces jeunes monde là.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est toute pour nouvelle en créole pour présent. Non moi c'est McPherson c'est Luce. Un bon week-end. Au revoir.
We now join Kimani Senja for this week's edition of Flashback.
Welcome to this week's edition of Flashback. Caribbean Area Representative for the International Telecommunications Union, Cleveland Thomas, who was on a familiarization visit to Dominica this week, said Dominica has the potential of being recognized as a major leader using technology in the Caribbean. This week, the Dominica Youth Business Trust joined over 120 countries across the globe to observe Global Entrepreneurship Week 2013, taking place from November 18 to 24. The Waitikobuli Entrepreneurs Levee has, for the 4th consecutive year, partnered with the Dominica Youth Business Trust to provide a week of business development mentorship to young Dominicans during Global Entrepreneurship Week. On Monday, the President, through the President's Charities Foundation, made a financial contribution towards the operation of the Grotto Home. The efficiency of the primary health care system was under review on Wednesday this week by persons directly involved in the sector. The National Stakeholders Consultation, which aimed to identify gaps and make recommendations in the primary health care system, was a joint collaboration between the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the Ministry of Health. On Wednesday, the Discover Dominica Authority launched its new program dubbed Return and Win. And this week, we learned that Dominica will soon benefit from direct budgetary support under the 10th European Development Fund Multi-Sector General Budget Support Program. Those were the headline stories which make the news this week. Back to you, Tarnia.
Thank you, Kimani. Coming up next, the tip of the day.
Do you have uncovered water storage drums around your home? Do you dispose of old tires, cans and old containers capable of holding water anywhere in your environment? Are you being bitten by mosquitoes, particularly at dusk and early morning? Do you keep houseplants in water? Do you spend your hard-earned cash to control mosquitoes? Has your community experienced dengue fever outbreaks? If your answer is yes to at least 3 questions above, you are at risk to dengue fever. Join the fight against dengue fever. The responsibility for a dengue-free Dominica lies with you. So, get rid of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Thanks for staying with us for the tip of the day. While there's no cure for flu, there are some natural and practical flu remedies you can use to ease flu symptoms. One way is to fill the bathroom sink with steaming water and add 1 teaspoon of the over-the-counter ointment Vicks Vapor Rub to the steaming water and then breathe in the steam for several minutes until you get some relief. Another alternative is to add a few drops of oil of eucalyptus or menthol to the water. Eucalyptus may help open up bronchial tubes, ease congestion, and make breathing just a little easier. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Tarnia Green. Thank you for watching and have yourselves a wonderful weekend.